Ronaldo still isn't back at training. Stories are starting to change in the transfer market. This is a situation that the Manchester United board have to grab hold of and control now, because it is starting to spin and spiral into an absolute mess. Ronaldo staying or going will, of course, change an element of the transfer targets that Manchester United approach. But already the story around will United continue to pursue Anthony or not is now being linked to the Ronaldo story, as in we will or won't go for him, when he was linked to Man United ever before this transfer request came in. And there's also talk today from the very reliable Rob Draper that Erik ten Hag is completely and utterly in the dark and has no idea about the return of Ronaldo. How can this even be possible? Man United got to get a grip of this right now, because this is turning into an absolute disgrace. Ronaldo is still expected to join Man United's pre-season tour after being given an extended time off for personal reasons. This was the report late yesterday, which kind of made Man United fans feel a little bit more relaxed about the situation. Whether you want him gone, whether you want him staying or not, is aside from that right now, that's what was being reported. But then this morning, that story somewhat changed again. The first bit of news here says that Erik ten Hag will push for Man United to secure deals for Lisandro Martinez and Frankie de Jong, and also wants a quick solution to the Ronaldo situation. But that was coupled with the claim that the United boss is in the dark about Ronaldo's future, and until the situation is resolved, the club cannot pursue the 22-year-old Brazilian international, Anthony. Now, I need to be very, very clear in terms of what I'm saying here. I am annoyed. I am frustrated at this, because Man United have worked very hard this summer to get ourselves into a position where Malacia is over the line, Eriksen has been convinced, Lisandro Martinez has been convinced, and there's a few £1 million differential between Ajax and Man United. In fact, Ajax are pretty much waiting to see whether Arsenal put in an even higher bid than Man United. They're trying to create a bidding war. They're the only things that have slowed those deals down. Those three deals are from de facto done to agree to, of course, completed. I think there's no real issue with those three deals. Man United remain very, very confident. The Frankie de Jong situation, we know why that slowed down. The player would be open to joining Man United if Barca agreed to sell. Barca haven't agreed to sell yet because of the add-ons. They want more of a guarantee on them because they want to be able to use that money to pay the likes of Frankie de Jong all the tens of millions of pounds of deferred salary they owe him because of their financial situation. That, of course, could go either way right now. Barca could end up refusing to sell. There is still some talk about the player taking a massive pay cut. If he does, we know his number one desire is to remain at Barcelona. But the situation with Ronaldo is frustrating. The situation with Ronaldo gives fuel to the fire. Anybody that wants to be negative about Man United can use this as a case in point. Now, this is a legacy issue that's carried over from the previous regime, the previous people running the club. Now, the Glazers are the board, but they don't run the club day to day. That was Woodward, that was Matt Judge, and a lot of those cronies that have now gone. But this is the legacy issue. This was a player signed not solely for footballing reasons last summer. Huge profits post the Ronaldo boost after selling shares. The share price rose when he came in. And of course, the big shirt sales that they got. There was a big commercial effort around this deal. And the 37-year-old Ronaldo, he isn't unhappy with Ten Hag. He isn't unhappy with the approach the club's gone in. He just doesn't want to be part of a brand new rebuild at 37 years of age. That's my take, and I'll stand by it. But this is where Manchester United could create a new problem because of legacy issues for the manager. And I've said all year, rivals won't do this for you, Man United fans. You have to do it yourself. You ring fence problems. None of this is because of Ten Hag, his coaching staff. None of this is because of Myrtle and Fletcher, and of course not Andy O'Boyle that's just joined. To a degree, even with Richard Arnold, they're trying to do things differently, footballing people making footballing decisions. But I've stated all summer, you're never going to get rid of United's problems and their legacy issues and the view people have of the club in one summer. It was going to take 2-3 years minimum of good processes. The way Man United are starting to handle this situation, it's going to undo the work, the perception, the view of the club, the way fans feel. It's going to undo it all. How? How in God's great name can Eric Ten Hag be in the dark? I keep hearing people say, oh, he's got to wait for Ronaldo to turn up so they can have a meeting. FaceTime, Zoom meetings. In 2022, you don't need to be in the same room as somebody to have a conversation. Now, either the situation is resolved and United are staying stum and the media are making things up. I don't think Rob Draper would do that. Too credible to do that. Man United have got to control the story. Whether the player is going to stay, or whether the player is going to leave, whether the player is really away because of family issues, or whether or not he's gone AWOL, Man United now needs to take a grip of this situation. They need to show the world, they need to show potential new players. We ain't going to tolerate this. This is not Woodward's Man United. This is not Matt Judge's Man United. This is a new era. And I've been very complimentary of quite a few of the things they've done so far this summer. By the way, it wouldn't make me ever buy a ticket to watch a game again. It would never make me buy a piece of merchandise again. I will never buy into a product of a sponsor, not until I see years of continual improvement. I believe if every Man United fan followed my suit, they would speed up quicker. But if you want to pump your money in, that's on you. By the way, if you start moaning now and you've already pumped your money and you already bought the shirt, that's on you. Like, this is what happens, right? And that's my little fear here. Maybe there's a bit of PTSD. Maybe I'm slightly premature with this. But the Glazers in this instance are making me nervous. Antony was linked to us and was meant to be extra creativity for Cristiano Ronaldo, not a direct replacement. Facts. We should be looking at a player like Antony, someone in his position with or without Ronaldo. That shouldn't be making a blind bit of difference to us. Blind bit of difference. But they need to resolve this situation quickly. Players coming in will want to know, am I playing with or without Cristiano Ronaldo? It could be a big decision maker for them. Equally, it looks good. Club comes in and says, look, we've decided, he doesn't want to be here. We're going to move him on. He will be sold. He won't be training with the squad. You know how we've seen, I know it's Ronaldo, right? And the guy is colossal. But you've just seen what Antonio Conte has done with players he doesn't want at his club. Boom, cutthroat, move on. Man United have got to do something here. They're not controlling the story. They're not controlling the framing, the narrative, and nobody seems to know what's going on. And fans want and deserve answers on this. They do. They really, really do need answers on this right now because it's confusing for people and frustrating. And when you hear, Ten Hag is pushing Man United to secure deals for Lisandro Martinez and Frankie de Jong. We know that he's doing that. We know that he wants those players there. But it's also this resolution. And I think what's helping Man United fans already feel embarrassed by the prolonged nature of the de Jong situation. I think they're really worried about going through all this and then the player still says no. And I know that's a fear inside a lot of Man United fans' mind. They want to end this summer, United fans, and go, look at that. We've had 5 or 6 good players. Everyone looks happy in the squad. The media saying nice things about. I think there's a desperation in Man United fans to be praised here. To be, you did well. And I think with the Ronaldo debacle, with everything going on with the Frankie de Jong deal, there's a frustration. I'm even seeing people get angry. Why ain't Eriksen here yet? It's just taking a bit of time. The agreement's in place. Medical started and underway. Big insurance premiums that need to be underwritten with the player with his medical past. And it'll be fine. Nothing's outside of where it should have been. I think the day after it was announced the verbal agreement was in place, it was said that it's very unlikely that it'll be in Melbourne with the Man United team. So the fact that it's protruded a little bit between now and then, people can just relax. Not all of these deals are in a bad situation. They're really, really not. We have got players fighting to come to the football club. But of course, the clubs they're with now are trying to make as much money out of Man United as possible. Why? Because of these same goddamn legacy problems that we're trying to resolve. And I bring it all the way back round to the Ronaldo situation. Handle this with power. Handle this with candor. Be authoritative, fair, but absolutely make sure that you come out on top. Man United need to be the powerhouse here. I know how big Ronaldo is. Yes, in the last 10 years, he's been far more successful than our club has been. But Man United has got to take back control of situations. Players cannot dictate what they are and are not going to do. Our narrative, our word will reign through. Clubs will not exploit us for 10s and 20s and 30 million pounds above our asking prices and market value of players. We will not continue to undersell and hemorrhage money. And player power needs to be eradicated. And what Ronaldo's doing right now, I love the guy, but I'm going to condemn it. If there is no family issue, and I pray to God there is no real family issue, if this is just player power, even refusing to come back for a single week should not be tolerated at Man United. The new rules that Ten Hag is laying down dictate it. And this is where Manchester United need to be strong and powerful. Zero tolerance to this type of situation. And even if Ronaldo is away for the right reason, so it's not him refusing, he's mother's unwell or an auntie or an uncle, something. If he's away for that reason, it's almost give him a call now. Listen, do you want us to sell you or do you want to stay? Like, make your mind up now. Explain the process, what you want to do. If he says, oh, I want to go, say, fine. But you're going to train alone. You're not going to join us on the tour. You're going to go back to Manchester and train alone. We'll speak to your agent. He can go and find you a new club. And then we tell the world that we've done that. We end the speculation and we move on. That's what needs to happen. This Ronaldo situation is becoming a disgrace. Don't let the Glazers pull the wool over your eyes, though. We're not going to go after Anthony because Ronaldo's gone. We were already linked to him. There has to be a replacement. And if there isn't a replacement now, in the short term, I want to hear why and what we're going to do elsewhere. We can kick the can down the street and wait for the right target to arrive. I've advocated that. But I want to see that person arrive in the future. Nothing's going to be fixed in one summer, but let's keep our eye on the Glazers and our foot on their necks. Smash the like button, subscribe.